Hey guys, welcome back. Orbomb here. Now I'm on a time crunch, so I'm gonna make this one quick. We're gonna be showing off Snorlax Gigantamax with Cinccino. It's actually really strong. Ignore the proxies. We are gonna have a few proxies. Think about it as Christmas cheer. I gotta make this as quick as I can, but I'm really excited about this deck. This deck is so strong. It has everything you want in a deck right now, which is something that a lot of decks can't boast. You have strong attacks, high HP, free gusting, and lots of draw. Like, you have everything you want in a deck. This deck is actually super cool, so we're gonna go ahead and go over it real quick. Before we get into the video, drop a like, subscribe, share all the good jazz. Let me know in the comments down below, who's your favorite tubby Pokemon? You can tell this is my second time recording this, because I came up with that question earlier. Who's your favorite tubby Pokemon? There's a lot of tubby Pokemon. You got the Wigglytuffs, you got the Tokikisses, there's a lot of Chubsters out there. Let me know for a chance to win not only some Sword and Shield codes, thanks to our lovely sponsors at Guardian Gaming, but also a Sword and Shield booster box when it gets releases. Now, we're gonna go ahead and go over the Pokemon. We got Snorlax here, 220 HP. It's really good. Having that 220 HP means that you're able to dodge those 210 HP attacks, so that's really good. I apologize if you hear any background noise. I gotta make this really quick. We got 60 damage, and he heals equal to the damage you've done with that first attack, and second attack is 170, and then you put to sleep. But that's not what matters. What matters is Gigantamax Snorlax. Now, there's a lot of space for a lot of different cards in this deck. I'm currently not playing muscle dumbbells or muscle pads, whatever they're called. I really want to play those cards. Because they would give, since you are 4 retreat costs, I believe it gives you 50 more HP, so you'd have a gargantuan 390 HP. But there's a few cards I am going to mention I want to cut, one of them being Snorlax. So there's a few other cards. We'll go over that as we get there. But Snorlax having 340 HP, and it hits 60 plus, is it 60? Yeah, 60 plus 30 for each of your bench Pokemon, which means you can hit a gargantuan 210 damage, which is actually really good. 210 damage. If you have a max bench, we have ways to fill up our bench for sure. And expanded, don't even get me started. But for the time being, we're talking standard. So that's going to be it for that Pokemon. Let's go ahead and move on because I'm in a rush. We got 4/4 Cinccino. Super strong card. Trade is back. This is the drawing part of the deck that I mentioned. Being able to discard 1, draw 2 is just good. We've experienced Zoroark together. We know how good Zoroark can be. Trade is an incredibly strong ability. Its attack's not bad either. It's a non-GX Pokemon, so it doesn't give up 2 prizes. Its attack does 40, and then it attaches the energy from the discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So you can accelerate fire energies onto the Snorlax, which is pretty good. We are playing a 4/4 line. I will say I'd never put down 4. Like, I don't think there's a game where you could put down 4. It's always like 3. You're going to want other things down on your bench, as well as like 2 of these. So that's why I'm thinking about maybe cutting out 1 Snorlax and maybe a 1/1 line of this. But because of prizes, because of getting them consistently, I am keeping them at 4 for the time being. But yeah, Muscle Pads and Triple Energy are 2 cards I'm not playing in this deck that I really want to play. Triple Energy is just in case you whiff cards like Welder, so you don't attack. It's kind of like acting like a Welder for the turn. Let's go over the rest of the Pokemon. Here's the Gusting that you want. You have free Gusting and Ninetales. Ignore the proxy. I apparently don't own any Ninetales. These are actually my buddy John's. But of course, you're playing Fire Energies. You're playing Trade. You're playing a big, chunky attacker. You get everything you want out of this deck. This deck is super strong. Be able to gust whatever you want. Works around dolls. Works around any sort of like blocking effects that might be in the format. I don't think there are any right now, but so like I guess it works around Zamazenta. So that's a thing, right? So there you go. That's it for the Pokemon, except we're also playing 1 Dedenne, because your early game needs to be good if you want to set up all this Pokemon, and 1 Marshadow so you can play things like Giant Hearth and stuff like that. All right, cool. Let's see. Gotta make this quick. As far as the trainers go, very, very standard stuff. 4 Quick Balls and 4 Evo Incense. You get all your bases, get all your evolutions. Really easy, really quick to understand. 4 Giant Fire Crystals, not Giant Fire Crystals, 3 Fire Crystals, because I found that 3 Fire Crystals is really it. Like, you're set after with the 3. I've had no energy issues. I only play 9 basic fires and 3 of these, and I've had no issues getting the energies I need for gusting and also attacking. Like, it seems to be fairly consistent. Maybe it's because I've only played like 10 games, and those 10 games have been going by really well. But like, I don't know, we'll see. Right now I enjoy 3. 2 switches. I do want to up the switch count, obviously. You have pretty chunky attackers that you don't want to get knocked out, but we are playing 3 Malilana. 1 U-turn board, free retreating that won't ever go away. We're not playing Jirachi, so we don't have to play a skateboard. U-turn board is just good for your Cincinos. 1 reset stamp and 1 fire flint. Because you play trade, I don't feel like you need more than 1 reset stamp. And we're playing fire flint just in case we can't find the Marshadow, or it's prized, or Giant Hearth is an issue, or things like that. I have like the fire flint for sure. That's going to be it for the trainers. And you can tell I'm in a rush, right? 2 Giant Hearths and 1 Heat Factory. We are playing the Marshadow, so we're able to play these down pretty consistently. And as far as the supporters go, let's see, here they are. We are playing 4 Welder because we are a fire deck, and Welder is a busted card. So we're playing 4 Welders to accelerate our energies. We are playing 4 research. I still think you need the research because your early game is what matters the most. You don't really care about using Welder turn 1 or turn 2 or whatever turn you're on it, because it's easy enough to set up a Snorlax manually, just attaching energy. But like more importantly, you want to get down all your Pokemon. That's the most important part of this deck, is getting down your Pokemon. So I still think the research is necessary to help you get there. And I'm playing 3 Malolana. Ignore the Mallow in the background. Just pretend like it's a 3rd Malolana. This is just because you have so much HP and switching is super important. So Malolana is really good because like you really don't need to play Welder that often in this deck because it's a 3 energy attack. Who cares? But that goes back to what I was saying earlier about playing some triple energies. I would love to have some triple energies in here so you can play those other cards and still attack for the turn, even if it's only like 2 or 3. But we are playing 9 fire energies to round out the deck list. This is a really, really short deck profile, so I hope we see a bunch of likes for a super short deck profile. I'm going to be playing this deck with a few different cards in it. I do want to play the muscle pads, and I do want to play maybe like 1 or 2 triple energies just to kind of like act as a buffer. Excuse me. But hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. You know, go ahead and suggest whatever you want. Like there's all sorts of cards you can play in this deck, other attackers that you might feel are necessary in the current format. Just because it's like this thing is such high HP and you're hitting good numbers. But obviously there are cards like Megaloplane Jigglypuff, for instance. Maybe you need to hit those Oko numbers a little bit easier. Maybe that's a problem, right? Then you can play cards like Megaloplane Jigglypuff depending on the meta. There's all sorts of different things you can play, but the fact that we have Gusting as well as a tanky attacker that can hit good damage is really all that you need. Like literally, like I said, this deck has everything you need: Gusting, tanking, big damage, and drawing. Like that's all you need, right? It's so good. Anyways, I gotta go, guys. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, share all the good jokes, especially for this video because I don't get to go as deep into detail. But we will be doing more games of this deck in the future for sure. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.